Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan, everybody. Today's video, I'm just gonna talk about something that I was just thinking about right now. I was just doing some work on my laptop right now, and it's currently nighttime. That's why it looks kind of like it's dark inside of the house. And I was just thinking about something that came up inside of my mind as recently, and that is, and this is just from my advice, and I've heard some other people say it as well, which is that you shouldn't tell people, especially those who are not going to be supportive in what you're doing, what you're actually doing. And I would go as far as to say that even if people are supportive, it doesn't matter how much, honestly, I would say that you shouldn't even tell 99% of people, even if they're supportive. Now, the reason why is because if you tell people your plans about your life and what you want to do in business, then you're essentially gonna hold yourself extra accountable, which is, of course, may sound good in your mind, but if you fail at something, which is gonna happen a lot, I mean, this entire journey is literally just a bunch of failure over and over and over. And as soon as you fail, you're gonna have so much more self-doubt inside of your mind, and you're gonna have more encouragement to actually quit. And luckily that hasn't actually happened to me. I haven't quit yet because I see that I'm getting closer and closer towards my goal every single time. And even if I wasn't getting closer towards my goal, like how I wasn't for some time, I would still keep on going, right? And like right now, for example, I was just talking with my brother, and this happens actually a lot, where he asks me, what did you do today, right? Like what activities did you do, whatever. He went to some, like, in the mountains, because I live in a city where there's mountains nearby, so he went there and he went with someone else and he hung out with them, and then he asked me, what did you do today? And I mean, what I'm saying is true. I told him I pretty much did nothing. I literally did nothing the whole day, right? Like, I didn't do anything nearly as eventful as whatever you did, and because of that, I'm saying that I did nothing. But at the same time, I did do some stuff. I worked out, I worked on my business, I worked on a bunch of different types of stuff. I made sure that, things are in place and I'm progressing and whatever, right? But I just said that I'm doing nothing. And the reason why is because I know that if I tell people, and especially my family, that I'm doing a business and I'm doing this online thing, which they have actually found out earlier on before, I know that it's not going to be positive. Even if it is for positive for a little bit of time, I know that it's at least for maybe like 1 month it's going to stay positive, and then after that, when they see that you're not getting results, it's going to become negative. And that's what happened to me before so many times, right? I told them that, I've been doing an online business. I don't want to do this. I don't want to, like, just to work a normal job, whatever, right? I want to do an online business. And then when they see you not succeeding at that, which is normal, it's part of the process, right? But when they see you not succeeding at that, they're gonna naturally just discourage you, because you're their brother, you're their son, and they want you to not go on a path which is gonna lead to you becoming broke, right? Which is, of course, out of their own protective fear. And you can't really blame them, because if you were in the exact same position and you saw someone not succeeding at what they wanted to do and then what they said that they were going to do, you wouldn't believe in them either, right? And even I've been a victim of this type of mindset as well, right? To some of my friends, for example, right? And so that's why it's important that you keep as much stuff on the low as possible. Like, if you're working on something, you don't tell, unless, like, it's absolutely necessary, like, and you have to tell the truth about what you're actually doing. I would say just go out your way and don't really say anything about it, because chances are it's gonna bite you back, and it's gonna come back to you, and it's not gonna come back in a positive way, right? So you have to be very careful, even if you're very excited and you have an opportunity. I made this mistake a couple of days ago, where I was offered something very, very good, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, of course, because that's what this video is about. But I got offered like a very good opportunity, and I already told like 3 of my friends about it, which is not what I should have done. I should have just tried to keep it in my mouth and not have told anyone, because if that opportunity doesn't come to light, people, not just people, but more importantly, you're gonna lose confidence in yourself. So that's how I would say, like, if you guys can, try to keep everything as discreet as possible until it actually actualizes, right? But yeah, anyways, the opportunity isn't gone. Like, I'm probably, my prediction, if Allah wills it, I'm predicting like an 80% chance I get it. But of course, you never know, right? Because there's so many times when stuff like this has happened in my life. Of course, I can't name it right off the top of my head, but just speaking from past experience, where I thought that I was literally sitting on a gold mine and I was about to make it out for once, but then it just ends up being, that plan ends up folding pretty much, right? That's happened to me so many times, the point where now when I actually have this opportunity now, maybe it wasn't like that at the beginning, but it actually was, but it wasn't. Like, I'm a lot more realistic about it. I'm thinking, listen, anything can happen, and at the end of the day, Allah is the one who grants you these opportunities and grants you these ways out, right? So what I should have done in that case was just not tell anyone, because let's just say hypothetically, if this opportunity doesn't actually actualize, that at least I didn't lose anything in terms of the aspect of having confidence. So that's what I would say. Just keep everything on the low, and if you guys are excited, just remember, you guys are in an emotional state, and in an emotional state, you never really make the best decisions. For example, I had a friend who was telling me, I don't know, man, I'm not trying to get too much into it, but he was just pretty much asking me to borrow money, and he'd ask every now and then. And of course, I'm fine with it, right? Like, he's my brother in Islam. Like, sometimes it would get a bit annoying, I can't even lie. But for the most part, bro, I was fine with it, right? I was like, yo, like, it's chill. And then a few days back, he was like, yo, this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna borrow money, because I think I should have a stable source of income after this. But it's like, how do you know? How do you know if you're gonna have a stable source of income? That could just be him just speaking from excitement because he was offered an opportunity, but it didn't actually actualize. So the moral of the story is, until the money starts hitting your bank account, or until whatever thing that you've been offered, or whatever thing that you're so excited about, actually you reap the fruits of it, and that result is literally tangible, you can literally do something with it. For most of you guys, it's business, so that means having money in your bank account, having money in your hand, whatever, right? Then don't celebrate, don't say anything about it, because until that happens, then you can't really say anything, right? For example, I had a client and I had made him like a lot of money, right? I had made him like, I think right now it's like, I made him like 8K in deals, right? In jobs. And it's even more now, right? And of course, I'm taking commission of the jobs which he gets. So my commission from him right now is like, if I were to put it into an estimation, I would think it's like 1.5K USD, right? Which in my currency is like 2.3K, which is good money, right? And you know, I'm going around telling all of my friends, bro, like, I have 3K and I have 3K to spend, when I actually didn't, because I was including the 1.5K USD that I would have gotten from this client after he had paid me. But the main problem is that that client hasn't paid me yet, right? Even after I've gotten them those deals, things come up, bro. Things come up. You know, sometimes whoever you're working with, something happens in their lives, something, not necessarily anything crazy, but maybe business is going the best for them, and as a result, they're like, yo, bro, I can't really pay up right now. So I learned that until the money doesn't hit your bank account, don't say nothing. Don't say absolutely nothing, because you never know what's gonna happen. It can bite you back, and you never know, bro. So don't celebrate too early. and just keep your mouth shut, honestly. And I need to work on this as well. But until that thing actually actualizes, keep your mouth shut. And then you also don't want to be flexing as well. Like if that thing, of course, it follows through, you don't want to be flexing to everyone, be like, oh, like look at me or whatever. So, you know, may Allah protect us from showing off and from trying to like flex the lifestyle and everything when we don't have good intentions, right? I mean, that being said, I'm gonna end the video here. I just wanted to record some of my thoughts. You guys can follow me on Instagram, jbs_journey32. Connect with me, ask me any questions. I also have a Discord link in the description as well, maybe if it's valid still, and you guys can connect with me there, inshallah as well. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.